Oh, fuck my life. All right, guys, what's going on? You guys know me all too well. Why the fuck can I not move this over? I have no idea as to why it wasn't allowing me to move it over, but whatever. Okay, so now you're. What the fuck is going on? Anyways. All right. Before we get into this fucking chill zone, and before we start talking about this catchphrase that's been going on now for a while, that I coin as literally diabetic stupidity anytime somebody fucking says it. I'm trying to wrap my head around as to what the fuck it is. What defines a game to be diabetic? What defines fucking anything of that nature? What is that definition even implying, first and foremost, dude? That's the biggest thing that I want to ask people. Is what the nebula fuck does it even fucking mean? And nobody can give me an answer to something that fucking doesn't even fucking exist. So why are people saying it? Why do people look at games and fucking sit there and say, oh, this looks like diabetic, fucking whatever the case may be, without even acknowledging or telling me what in the nebula fuck it's supposed to even mean? I don't get it. It makes no sense to me. And that's one of the things that I want to get down pat and I want to discuss in this episode, because I truly believe that that is the most idiotic thing that I've heard gamers ever come up with. Whoever, I mean, I know who fucking coined it. I think Spartan God said something about it. But at the end of the day, I'm genuinely curious, man, as to what the fuck it means. Because I keep seeing people jokingly or being serious fucking using that term. I've Overdone fucking literally calls me that every day. And I still can't get an answer out of them. What is this made up terminology? That's what's up there, Stardust and Dauntless. How you guys doing, guys? What is this made up fantasy word that we now coin as diabetic? I don't understand that. I mean, okay, you know what? Maybe I might be able to get a better understanding if I do it this way. Maybe if I look up the actual proper definition of what diabetic is, which people that don't know, you already know exactly what it is. But to clarify on the live stream, let's go ahead and see what the fuck it actually means. Because I personally think that that diabetic itself is probably not in the realms to what these games are being described as. But let's see anyways. All right. Because I'm generally confused as to why people are coining this statement. I don't like the statement. I think the statement is fucking childish, retarded, and redundant. But I mean, to each their own, I guess. To each their own. All right. Let's see here. Diabetic is just another word for diabetes and shit, right? From what I understand. Let's see, a disease in which the body's ability to produce or respond to the fucking hormone insulin is impaired. Fucking resulting in abnormal metabolism of carbohydrates and elevated levels of glucose and fucking in the blood and urine. Okay, so in other words, fucking, it's a bunch of fucking harsh shit. Diabetes is not fun. I have people in my family who have it. Hell, I probably do myself with the amount of fucking pop fucking that I intake per day. But either way, let's break this down and discuss it, right? Why do people say this term? Why do people coin this fucking term? And why do people stick with using this fake fucking term, right? Let's just answer that question. I personally think that the reason why people are using or coining this catchphrase is when they happen to see a game that doesn't interest them or doesn't understand the core concept of the game, or anything virtually fucking Xbox makes. Basically, the main time I always see this catchphrase be coined is whenever Xbox releases a first party game, or whether it's a game that's going to be on Game Pass or Game Pass in general. That is the main three things that I see whenever this topic gets brought up into the actual fucking gaming community. So, by going based on their logic, their logic, they're basically saying that renting games is diabetic, which I laugh at because, again, I don't know how many times I have to fucking repeat myself with this shit. When the fuck did it ever become a bad thing to rent video games? Could somebody answer me this question? Now, of course, I always hear the same formatic excuse that renting games and paying for a subscription via Game Pass are two entirely different things. When the actual answer of it is no, it's not fucking entirely different. They are both equivalently the fucking same. Except I don't have to worry about renting out a game fucking via a $4 price tag for each individual game. But nonetheless, though, the actual simple fucking narrative as to what these things are exactly that. You are renting them out. You don't own them. You can't do nothing with them. You are renting these games out for a price. Except one's behind a goddamn paywall and one's behind fucking individual game paywall. Right? Now, I think personally that the people that are actually out here coining this phrase, and I can kind of somewhat fucking make this somewhat into a factual thing, is Overdone. Overdone admitted to me a long time ago that he wasn't around, or he never ever rented a video game before in his life. He's from Norway, so I don't know if they had video rental stores up there. I'm not entirely sure. But regardless of that nature, though, he openly admitted to me that he does not rent video games. So he would never begin to understand or value the understanding as to why, human individuals actually use that as a way to play video games or watch movies back in the day. And that's understandable. That's understandable. But to me, it's definitely a misguidance because if you weren't around in that era, right? I've seen a lot of people, throw at me like all these generalization of excuses like, oh, budgets were smaller back then. Fucking these retailer fucking companies would have to buy out a bunch of these games. Bloody fucking blah. That kind of shit like that. But even though renting video games still exist even to this very given day outside of the narrative services like Game Pass or fucking services like GameFly or fucking Game Access over here in Canada. So it's the whole renting fallacy thing is not as popular anymore because Blockbusters are all gone. All the video stores that I used to know down here are all gone. But there's still a few fucking places in the US and a few places over here in fucking Canada that still do allow fucking the rental service of video games and shit like that. So, but the funny thing is that nobody ever questioned it. Nobody ever said anything about it. Nobody ever thought it was deemable to be a problem. Due to the fact that when you look at a fucking service such as, say, GameFly you pay a monthly rate, and depending on what package deal you're paying a monthly for it, you had the ability to either get 1 to, I think it's up to 3 games fucking per month that you can rent out and then send it back at your own leisure. Very similar to exactly what Game Pass is, except Game Pass you don't have a limit on how many games you can rent out at a time. You can fucking literally download the whole entire library until your service is pretty much basically ran up. So I wonder why people are being crucially upset. Now the biggest impact that I've seen so far is the whole entire analogy towards the first party offerings being day and date. This seems to be an issue. But again, I don't see it being an issue because that is no different to a developer releasing their game retail or rental wise fucking day and date, which was another thing that developers always done. These retailers would get a bunch of these order a bunch of copies of these games and put them on the actual store shelves for rental the same day the game goes out on store shelves to purchase by. That kind of stuff like that. I don't really see that to be a difference. Even Sony fucking games were like that too as well back in the day. Did that actually ever hurt the actual numbers of Sony, period? No. Not at all. Not at all. Maybe it did. I don't know. Maybe it did. Because this is technically the first generation where Sony is fucking capped off and actually managed to sell fucking more than one game that sells over fucking 10 million that's not Gran Turismo. But I digress. So coming back to full circle here with the whole entire fucking analogy that fucking, I know where it originated from there, Drain Your Soul. Trust me, I know where it originated from. But the fact that now people are actually using this to describe something, mainly in related towards either a specific game or something that of, I would say, whether it be Microsoft or something that Nintendo's doing or something that somebody references or whatever the case may be, I believe it's something that is very, very fucking lackluster and fucking childish to say. Now, see, one example there with what Drain Your Soul says, he goes, I believe diabetic gaming is referring to the lack of quality games and an influx of more cartoon-looking games. No. Absolutely not. Because Nintendo already fucking has proven that aspect that Nintendo can make both quality and cartoony-looking games, and those games sell bucket loads. So I don't look at that as a formication of fucking as a reason as to why. Now, if you want to use that terminology in the sense of what Microsoft is doing, then how could nobody coin this catchphrase fucking during the OG Xbox and even last generation when that's all they did from a first-party narrative standpoint? Outside from a few noble exceptions. Nobody coined that fucking catchphrase last generation. In fact, most people seem to not even notice fucking the games that Microsoft's first party games were releasing because they were too busy buying into third party exclusive shit. This notion of this terminology proves two things to me: that gamers are uninformed. That's definitely the highest one on the list. And number two, they're using this as an attempt to fuel an already unlit fake fire fucking for a console war that doesn't even exist outside from the mindsets of fucking people's own goddamn fucking brains, man. There is no console war. There never has been a console war. Outside from the fact that what Sony and Sega did back in the day, which was between two fucking juggernaut companies. But now these companies are not even doing that. And in fact, both companies are actually fucking not even coining or doing anything in the nature that even would actually remotely be similar to what an actual fucking console war would be. We as gamers came up with this fallacy fucking fucked up world, fantasy world, where now we think that we are the ones that are responsible for making the console war be what it is. In actuality, it doesn't need to happen because it doesn't even exist. I think he said it a little too early. I do think that Control is going to come to Game Pass. Maybe not this month or next month, but I think it is coming. I think it just Phil definitely spoke a little too soon on it. And then fucking, of course, with the actual official Twitter coming out and saying that, oh no, that there is no plans for that, blah, 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 blah. Which leads me to believe that it's just nothing more than a cover-up. Just because it was announced too early. You know what I mean? Because, to be fair, no developers announce fucking outside from ID at Xbox games that their games are going on Game Pass early. That's the only time you'll ever see that happen. Like, Capcom never came out and said anything about Devil May Cry or fucking outside from the potential leak, but the company itself never said anything about Monster Hunter World or Devil May Cry going on Game Pass, and then boom, out of nowhere, popped. You know what I mean? And then Control was technically supposed to be the same thing. Now, I've seen Royal brought up a good point yesterday on the Do What You Do podcast yesterday that I can kind of see where he's coming from, and he may very well be right. He basically broke it down and basically stated that, it seems like Phil said that shit intentionally to try to get more people to stay subscribed to Game Pass. Now, my thing is, and I can only tell you from my own perspective as to why I'm still fucking subscribed to Game Pass and why I still love this fucking service, is not because I don't want to support developers. It's not because I don't want to fucking see better games come out. It's not having to do with any of that crap. It's because of the current situation, the living situation that I'm currently in, that I don't have the luxury right now to buy any game at all, period. Not even games on PlayStation. I can't afford it right now because of the current situation that I'm still currently in, which I'm still currently going to be in probably for a lot longer than I want to be. But hey, whatever. Fucking, I learned from my own mistakes, right? Game Pass has been a fucking massive lifesaver for me. Massive lifesaver for me, and it's gotten me through fucking literally the entire fucking year since I got fucking kicked out of my own place. And fucking, you know what I mean? That kind of shit like that, because I don't have the luxury to buy the games right now. The last game that I bought with my own money was fucking, 6-7 months ago? That was about it, and it was like a $20 game that was on sale. That's all it was. But anyways, fucking but no, but I've been vocal about that though, Drain Your Soul. But I always like to bring it up to re-inform people in case they either forget. I mentioned it. I talked about it on fucking Six Channel, and I've talked about it several times on this channel. But I always say it though as a refresher because there's a lot of people out there that don't think, you know what I mean, or don't remember properly because they only want to hear what the fuck they want to hear. That's why I bring it up in like kind of refresher in a weird fucked up way. But despite all that, that's the main reason why I use Game Pass. It's definitely a lifesaver. It definitely has helped me get through the months, especially with my finances being in the tank right now. So that is a plus. That's a huge plus. PS Now would have been something that I would have easily, like invested into. Not a problem at all. If their download section on their console was better fucking than Game Pass, which it's not. Outside from the first party games, but I already own all those fucking first party games. Like, that's the reason why I haven't been subscribed to it. It's got an okay library, but it nowhere near as good as Game Pass. Now, if you want to count the actual streaming aspect of things, all right, fine, but that's kind of an unfair comparison. The services are similar, but I digress. But then all of a sudden now, when xCloud comes out and they add fucking Game Pass to that, and they start adding all of their fucking library, like their old OG Xbox games and every single fucking 360 title that's going to be on there, then PS Now is still going to be completely fucking irrelevant. Or depending on the person's fucking values and taste. Appreciate it there, Drain Your Soul. Appreciate it, man. I know it's late. I know it is late. But I really wanted to talk about this whole entire fucking diabetic thing, man. Because I hear it literally every day. And I think it's the most idiotic, dumbest, childish fucking statement anybody can say. Like, okay, I'll give you another example. Most people would take a game and look at a game like, say, Age of Wonders Planetfall, right? Outside from maybe a few people, but let's say the majority of people would take a look at that game and have no idea where that fucking, or what the game is, or what franchise that spawned way back in the day on the PC side of the spectrum, right? With like Age of Wonders and fucking, well, I forget what it was called, like Shadows of Magic or something. I think it was called Age of Wonders Shadows of Magic, something along the lines of that. Either way, fucking most people will look at that and take one look at that game and call it diabetic, but not even knowing what kind of game it is and how fucking deep and complex a game like that is. Look at Civilization, for example, right? A franchise that's been extremely popular on the PC side of the spectrum for a multitude of years now, right? Multiple years. Tons of people play that shit. When it comes to the console side of the spectrum, however, though, Civilization never really had that exposure to get more popular, or at least to make that genre somewhat more popular. Hell, even Command & Conquer couldn't fucking do it. Not even fucking StarCraft back on the N64 could even shed a single dime out of people, man, to play that shit. But at the end of the day, my question is why? Why is that genre not popular on PC, or not popular on fucking consoles? Why don't console gamers like those types of games? And truth be told is because console gamers prefer simplicity. They don't like games that have too much complexity. They can have games that have complexity, yes, or a little bit of depth behind it. But too much, though, is a no-no. A game that has to make you think, or a game that has to make you fucking really, really ponder about your decision-making wise, is a no-no for console gamers. Meanwhile, on the PC side of the world, those fucking genres reign dominant over there. Just look at League of Legends, for fuck's sakes. But that also just shows you, too, as well, as how different both platforms are as a whole. I'll talk about that in a minute there. Drain Your Soul. But anyways, real quick, going back to the whole thing about diabetic, when using this example of Civilization, for example. If console gamers were to actually see, like, okay, let's take a game, let's say, maybe that's a bad example. Let's take a game that does have fucking, let's say, like, an RPG. Let's use, fucking, say, Torment. Tad's Numenera, right? Fucking, it's not the fact that people don't have interest in it, Dauntless, because if they don't have interest in it, they won't say shit about it. The difference is that if somebody doesn't have interest in it, but sit there and call it diabetic, that's child's fucking play. That's childish. Don't be doing that shit. Because it makes you look like a fucking cunt at the end of the day. Because you're shitting on a game, even though you have no interest in it, but you're shitting on a game you don't know nothing about that game. No history, don't know who the developer is, you don't know what type of game it is, all that kind of shit. But yet you label it as diabetic. That makes no fucking sense. No fucking sense at all. Nah, dude, trust me, you haven't really been paying attention to Twitter at all there, Brett. I hear it every day from fucking Overdone. I hear it all the time. I just saw it today by J-Dub. J-Dub posted a fucking image that has one picture fucking with coins on it talking about AAA fucking exclusive Scarlet games. And then the other fucking side of it was another goddamn jar full of coins that said fucking games that are designed for diabetic gamers. Like, what the shit? Like, what? Like, I don't get it. It makes no fucking sense. But here's the biggest takeaway, though, fucking Dauntless, though, that perplexes me, though, is how can something not have... How can you say that you don't have interest in something when you don't know what it is? When you've never experienced a game like that before, how can you sit there and say that you don't have interest in that? If you're not even willing to give it a shot, to try it out, how do you know if you're going to have interest in that game or not? Screenshots don't do shit. Of course it does there, Stardust. Of course it does. No, you can't play Minecraft in peace. The fuck you talking about there, Pug? It's one thing that I've always found rather interesting, though, is that interest is one thing, right? But yet, if somebody has never ever seen the game before or has no clue what the fuck the game is, what type of game it is, how it plays, how it works, or any of that nature, how do you know if you have no interest in that if you're not willing to give it a try? That's my question. Now, of course, they're dauntless. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just trying to figure out as to why people would never have interest in whatever. It doesn't matter what genre it is. It doesn't matter whatever genre it is. Okay, for me, that's fucking where knowing my taste and what I like. But that's another negative too, as well, behind that compliment or comment, I should say. You're not wrong by any stretch of the means, there, Dauntless. So don't misconstrue what I'm saying here. But what I am going to tell you is when I see people sit there and say knowing my taste, what does that even fucking imply? But again, that's the same kind of notion of trying to figure out if something that you have no interest in, but if you actually played it, you might fucking, have an interest in it. You know what I mean? That's just another way of covering up the interest fucking aspect of it, though. Which, again, like I said, you're not wrong. It's just another way of saying knowing my taste, a.k.a. interests, fucking in what I like. They are allergic to colors. Nah, no, 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 no. I mean, like I said, I have no problem with people that don't have interest in stuff like that. I have the issues that I have is the people that claim they have no interest, but then talk shit about it, like they know what it is, but when they actually don't know what it is, I personally take fucking I have an issue with. There's a lot of things in this gaming community that really piss me off. And that really shows me fucking as to why the industry is heading in the direction that we're going. And people don't really seem to understand that. They want to sit there and point fingers at Microsoft being the corporate or microtransactions being the corporate. But in actuality, it's us. We are the problem. Now, let me explain before you get your panties in a bunch. Relax. When I say that we are the problem, I'm talking about gamers in general are the fucking problem. Because think of it like this notion, right? Thrash said it best. When we sit up here and we buy these fucking AAA fucking games that we have a FOMA about, that we have the fucking fear of missing out because we think that we're going to miss you something that's valuable, when so far these third-party developers, fucking, well, not all, but a lot of these third-party developers have proven to you that they don't give a fuck about valuing your fucking goddamn time and fucking money, can sit there and put a whole bunch of these bullshit fucking shenanigan mechanics in the game, like microtransactions and other things too as well. Yeah, we ignore it. But at the same time, when these casual motherfuckers sit out here and see us constantly talking about these said quote unquote games, they go out, they buy these games. That's the market that these developers bank money off of, man, from their bullshit goddamn shit. All the fucking time. I mean, for fuck's sakes, man, go look at how many channels that are on YouTube today that do nothing but open fucking goddamn card packs with sports games. Or go look and you'll find channels of people fucking that sit there and constantly buy nothing but fucking Overwatch boxes and open them for fucking video fucking views and shit like that. We are the fucking problem. Gamers are the fucking problem as to why the industry is going in the direction that it's going. Not because Microsoft is doing their own shit, not because of this, not because of that. It's because us, gamers, we are the victim, we are the problem. And we are allowing this shit to happen. Why? Plenty of reasons, man. Not voting with your wallet, fucking people that just don't give a shit, fucking the whole entire fear of missing out crap, garbage excuse that I find fucking the most ridiculous thing next to fucking diabetic gaming. Because what reason would you have to fear out on something day and day? What are you missing out on? What are you missing out on exactly? What, are you missing out on the fact that you want to be able to converse with people early on so you can fucking talk about the game? Okay, is that really an excuse though? See, that's another fucking thing too as well, Dallas. Again, you're right. But again, I'm just going to fucking throw another scenario out there for you. Whenever I hear people say that, when I've had people even tell me that fucking that I only platinumed fucking Death Stranding because, I wanted to fucking have bragging rights to say that I platinumed it. But yet, I only fucking mentioned it once in any of my videos and that was it. I don't give a fuck that I plat that game. I'm not going to brag about it. I'm not going to fucking talk shit about it. Do I think Death Stranding is a great game? It's decent. Great story. Shit gameplay, though. And I still stand by that. Oh, hold on, I got to fart. Ooh, that was a fucking ghost coming out of my asshole. But anyways, despite that, hear me out, though. Let me keep going. I don't give a flying fuck. And I really wish people had the same kind of mentality, because if people had the same kind of mentality, man, gaming would not be in the way that it is. EA wouldn't have sat there and fucked you guys over. Activision wouldn't have actually came out with fucking Call of Duty every fucking year. That kind of shit like that. And there's your way, or I'm going to actually be truthfully honest here, I actually be somewhat of a dick, but at the same time in a joking kind of way, is the fatal way. Now, to you guys think that the fatal way is the fucking most garbage thing possible, but in actuality, I'm still playing the same shit that you guys are playing. I just don't have to limit myself because of the fucking quote-unquote taste. When I have to put a limit on something because I'm either scared to try something new, or I don't want to have the ability to try something new because I want to feel and I want to fit in my own comfort zone. And that's fine. I'm not saying that it's wrong to have your own comfort zone. I just think that's a little bit on the fucking, like, kind of on the pushing side for me a little bit. I wish everybody had the ability to not be such a fucking pussy about shit and try new shit. Experience new games for themselves. Because at the end of the day, you never know what game that you can fucking randomly play and have a fucking blast in your fucking pants with, man. You may think you know what games you want, but in actuality, You really fucking don't. You really don't. Oh, I want the new Star Wars game because I love Star Wars. But yet, people that actually know Star Wars and that play the game so far, it's a generic game. And EA had to make that game good because if they didn't, they would have lost the goddamn Star Wars license. Which I really pray to God that they fucking did fuck that game up. Now, for the record, am I an asshole for saying what I just said? You goddamn right I am an asshole for saying what I just said. But truth be told, am I wrong in saying what I'm saying? Most people would say that I'm wrong. But I personally think that people that have to isolate themselves and not having the ability to try out new shit because they use that coin of not fucking interesting or, or fucking whatever bullshit fucking excuse that you want to use. No offense to anybody in the chat. I look at that as a cop-out answer, in my humble opinion, man. I really do. I really do. But how do you know you won't like it if you won't play it? That's the question right there. Right there, Dauntless, man. That's the ultimate question right there. How would you know? How would you know if you're going to like it or not like it if you're not even willing to fucking play it? Not even willing to give it a fucking chance. Because as far as I'm concerned, right now, Xbox is doing one thing better than Sony is doing right now. And that's getting other people to try out new shit. Games that they would never ever fucking play. Now to you guys would look at that as nothing more than a formulaic fucking excuse or bullshit. But in actuality, it's making these gamers fucking actually a lot more interesting now in games that they would never ever fucking touch. And that is a positive thing. Because there's so many fucking positive things behind that. Definitely not a cough. But you're fucking showing a developer. You're actually helping developers out in the long run. You're understanding what these genres are. See, that's what I'm saying there, Dauntless Man. Game Pass is perfect for that. Regardless if you hate the service. Fine. That's fine. I don't have an issue with that. But if you wanted to use it to try out fucking new shit that you would never ever be willing to try out, that's the best way to do it as far as I'm concerned. Why do you think I myself got into so many fucking genres growing up as a kid? Because I had the luxury of renting a lot of shit out, man. And that's why I found so much interest in, man, in like strategy games, RPGs, JRPGs, Western RPGs, action, every genre. Hell, maybe not so much for porn, but you get the idea. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm glad that a lot of people are out there fucking using a service like that, regardless of the hate. I don't give a fuck about the hate. But the fact that they're actually out there willing to play something that they never ever would blink an eyelash at, man, whether it be a genre or a type of franchise or whatever, I have to applaud Microsoft for doing that. And I also applaud the developers too as well for putting their shit on there. Because you never know, man. You never know, dude. And that's one thing that I'm so blessed growing up in the actual time when, like, that was a normal thing for us. When renting games was probably the most popular thing than it was buying shit. Because you actually got to explore. You got to feel and try different shit that you would never ever play. That kind of stuff, man. I mean, I'm also lucky too as well that I had a whole bunch of fucking things to play. PC, Commodore, consoles, whatever. You know what I mean? So I was exposed to a lot of shit early on in my life. And I'm glad that I took that route. Because if I had the route where I had to limit myself because of taste, gaming would be so fucking goddamn boring for me. Now, that's just me, of course. That's not anything related to you guys. I'm just telling you from my perspective on how I personally feel. I'm not bashing anybody. I'm not talking shit to you there, Dauntless. So relax. Don't chew my head off. I'm just saying from my perspective, dude, that if I had that mentality, knowing what I know now, from everything that I've played and loved, gaming would be dead. Gaming would be fucking dead to me in a heartbeat, man. And it's a real shame, man. Why do you think I don't get overly excited for a lot of games anymore outside from I know what I'm definitely going to be excited about? Like, you all heard me fucking dying to play Civilization fucking when that bitch got announced from the Switch, man, and how pissed off I was. You guys remember that shit? That was a long ass time ago. It was like a year ago when I made that video. When I saw that announcement, dude, man, I was fucking livid. And people that remember that shit, you remember how fucking pissed off I was. Okay, like another game like The Forest, right? That was a game that was on PC. If I really wanted to play that game fucking that bad, I would have run out and bought a PC. That FOMA, right? Even though it's kind of a bad way of fucking using that terminology, but whatever. I just like saying because FOMA sounds fucking like a sexual position. But anyways, fucking even demos, dude, man, were fucking, yeah, I agree with that statement 100% there, Dauntless, or not Dauntless, sorry, fucking Drain Your Soul. Yeah, demos was another great way to try out new shit. Now it seems like these developers just like, yeah, I'm not gonna play demo up here. It's like, all right, whatever. Right, exactly. See, Pug, you remember that shit. Like, I was fucking heated. I was so mad. Because I truly, honestly thought at the time that that game would never come to consoles, man. And it's been a long time since Civilization has ever touched a console. Long fucking time. But when that state of fucking play fucking happened, fucking, what, back in September? And they said that Civilization was, or no, sorry, I think it was in October, I think it was, or the last state of play. And they showed that Civilization 6 was finally coming to fucking PlayStation and Xbox. I nearly fucking shit my fucking pants, dude. I was beyond fucking ecstatic, dude. But I have to thank fucking the fact that I was gaming on PC as a child, man, when I first got introduced and shit like that, or well, not a child, but throughout the course of my life, man, where I finally got introduced to Civilization. I didn't even play Civilization until 4 came out. And then when I finally did, and I finally got accumulated to how the game works, man, that game was like, turned out to be one of my favorite strategy games of all fucking time. That's what I'm saying. Like, experiencing new stuff, man, like, even if it doesn't interest you, I mean, like I said, not everyone's going to be like me. You know what I mean? I agree to that. You know what I'm saying? Fucking Shadow Warrior, I played that. Who all here played the original game? The original PC one. Wash wang, wash wang, wash wang. You know what I'm saying? Probably not a lot of people. Dr. Pepper, man. Dr. Pepper is the fucking shizness. Patience and guidance has always rewarded me, man. See, because the cool thing is that this is actually the first generation, man, where I don't really care that I don't have a PC because of how so many games that are coming from PC that I want to play that are now on consoles. Like, right now, Rust is actually the last game that I wanted to see come to consoles, and it's finally coming out fucking next year. I have no desire now to fucking play anything on PC going forward, man, until I see something else. But the chances of that coming to consoles is pretty fucking high. The only thing that I would use if I had a fucking PC rig right now is going back and playing all the classic shit that I grew up with, man. Phantasmagoria, fucking Goblins, Nox, Baldur's Gate. Even Baldur's Gate, those classic games are now on fucking consoles. Which, for the record, I want the price of those to go down, by the way, because fucking goddamn cocksuckers. But so the point of the matter is that even classical shit now is coming to consoles now. PC is starting to become fucking the most irrelevant gaming fucking platform for me. Which was never used to be like that. Never used to be like that. Long gone are the days. And when I say irrelevant to me, I'm talking about it from fucking games that I actually want to fucking play that I can't get on consoles. You know the whole entire exclusive matters? Why does that rule not apply to PC anymore? You ever notice that? Well, that it only fucking applies to fucking console now, which I find fucking ridiculous. So when I see people bitch about fucking Xbox games going to PC, it's like, why do you care, dude, man? I mean, you don't give a fuck about the fact that exclusive games don't matter to you on PC, but they only matter to you on fucking PlayStation? Or console-wise? But why complain about that when all you do is shit on every goddamn fucking first-party game that Microsoft has released this generation? I don't get that. That doesn't make any sense. I feel there's not many gamers like you, Bear. Fucking like you'll play all types of games. Fucking as I love the different experiences, but most of my friends tend to play the same games and decide their time to. No, and that's fine. That's fine. And don't misconstrue what I'm saying here, Dauntless Man. I'm not trying to bother you. I'm not trying to piss you off, brother, man. You know I'll never do that. Like if that's your philosophy on like how you see games, hey, you know what? More power to you, brother, man. You got my support, whatever the case may be. I just wish, I just wish everything that I just said. It's just wishful thinking for me, dude. Man. If like I would love to have, if the gaming community was not so fucking easily objectified by what people are clamming down their fucking throats to play or what interest they have, gaming would be in such a way better fucking place, man. I'm telling you it would be, man. It really would be. No, and that's fine, Dollars, man. I'm not chewing you up for that, dude. I mean, like I said, that's your preference. That's your preference, man. I'm just giving you different, like, when I like flip what you're saying is because I'm giving you from what I feel, not like a factual thing. I'm just telling you how I feel and why I don't believe in that. I know I'm waiting for price drops on those two games, man, because I want to get Neverwinter Nights has dropped, and it's like fuck. But I'm like, nah, dude, man, fucking, I'll have to wait on that one. I don't know, my fucking maybe for Christmas, maybe I'll see. Maybe for Christmas I can fucking pick it up or something like that. Get it on the shitbox one here. A majority of gamers fucking are like sheep. They play what everyone else fucking is playing, is aka Fortnite, Call of Duty, etc. Yeah, that's true, but that's the casual market here, though, man. That's the casual market right there. But like for the longest time, I never knew like games that actually have color in them, or games that are inspired like or have like a cartoony look to them are bad now. I don't grasp that because those are the games that age well as time goes on. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that's a bad thing though, but I mean, fuck, man, like that's the way games have always been. Realism in games fucking never really came a thing until what, midway through the PS2 era, maybe early on around there. That right there, drain your soul. That right there. And I'll be blatantly honest, man. And this is not a knock at fucking at Death Stranding in general. This is just a knock at fucking the style of game. Fucking not the style of like, gameplay, but the style of like the way the game looks. Art style, if you want to call it that. That art style, man. Like after playing that game for over 120 hours, dude, man, I got so fucking sick of how that game looked. Like I'm not even joking, dude, man. There were times where like I had to like step back and stop playing the game for a while. Like that art style was literally making my stomach turn. Like I don't know why it was, but like that game was just, oh god. I hated being in that world, man. I hated being in that world because I don't like the way that game looks. I'm not a fan of fucking of realism in games. Like, yeah, Red Dead Redemption, fucking, okay, fine. A lot of people have given me flack for that. Oh, well, you like Red Dead, what the fuck? Yeah, Red Dead had a lot of realism in it. But the game is designed around the western fucking side of the spectrum. You kind of have to go realistic on that, because if you don't, it's no longer a western game. Death Stranding does it well, because fucking it's based on what it's trying to do. Being a postman operator, being a fucking UPS delivery guy. Jokes aside. But delivering packages, man, like, how else you can't really make that fucking You know what I mean? That kind of shit. It keeps us young, but it doesn't make us pure, though. It doesn't make us pure. Now, of course, people are going to give me fucking flack in the comment section for me making that kind of statement about Death Stranding. Fine. Go ahead. See if I give a shit, honestly, because I really fucking don't. That fucking style of game, or that visual style, is fucking dog shit. I fucking hate that visual style, man. I really fucking do. You know what? Don't even get me started on Death Stranding, dude. Don't even get me started on that. I'm tired of talking about that game, dude. I'm really, really tired of talking about that game. But you know, it's funny. People still ponder and question, though, right? This is how you know that graphics are irrelevant. Minecraft. Take Minecraft. Why is Minecraft so goddamn popular? Why is Fortnite so fucking popular? If graphics was ever a determination as to why these gamers play games, Fortnite and fucking Minecraft wouldn't even have a quarter of its goddamn fucking fan base, dude. You know why I fuck with Minecraft, dude? Because I have fucking fun playing it. You know why I don't play fucking Fortnite? Because I fucking detest Battle Royales. And again, I'm not shitting on Death Stranding. I'm talking about just the visual style in general. Like Horizon had the same problem with me. Although Horizon, in a way, kind of, I managed to overlook that a lot of the times I was playing that shit because, you know, robots and technology and stuff like that, that's in the game. So that was kind of more like a filler for me to kind of like avoid that issue. But Death Stranding, dude, fuck me, dude. God damn. Oh, yeah, don't get me wrong. I love the art style in Fortnite. I just hate Battle Royales in general. PUBG is another one like that, too, as well. That takes that realistic fucking looking approach. It does it horribly on so many levels, but... Right? Brett, yeah, right? But like I said, man, power doesn't mean shit. People want to use that as bragging rights, man. But here's the thing, dude, man. Power is not going to win you a generation. It never has. Never fucking has. Look at the fucking Wii generation, my guy. What is 100 and fucking 3 or 4 million, 103 fucking million or some shit? And that thing was 2 GameCubes duct taped together. PS2 was the least powerful console of during that generation compared to the GameCube and OG Xbox, and it fucking bit smacked everybody. PS1 did the same thing. Power doesn't mean shit. Is it nice that it's there? Yeah, because power has to evolve. Technology evolves. These consoles have to as well. I get that point. But when you focus on that narrative, right, that's a problem for me. Which is why I'm glad to see that Sony and Microsoft are mainly focusing on fucking performance this time around, because that is way more fucking important than the way a fucking game looks, my guy. How many times have we seen, time and time again, people bitch and moan about fucking frames this generation? Every fucking game that comes out. Let's get rid of that problem. Then maybe down the line, if people want that type of realism, dude, go get it. Go want it. Hey, even anime games. Fuck. I played my fair share of anime games that I thought were wicked. A lot of them I didn't really care for, but I mean, that had nothing to do with the art style, though. I think the art style is fucking awesome. Like, look at the fucking Naruto games. I played a couple of the Dragon Ball Z games. I played that Dragon Ball fucking Xenoverse team, and that game was actually, graphical-wise, was fucking the shit. Because I felt like I was playing the cartoon. It was fucking mint, dude. Exactly, it's how you use that power. And that's also another valid point, too, as well, Dauntless, man. When I'm talking about power, I'm not talking about graphics. Because power and graphics are two entirely different things. Yes, they could be said in the same sentence, but as separate individuals, no. But like I said, man, like I don't take issue per se with like fucking with games looking realistic or anything like crap like that. I'm not a fan of it though. I'm not a fucking fan of that fucking style at all. I really am not, dude. You know, all that fucking weird ass terminology, man, for fucking Dragon Ball. Yeah. A lot of weird terminology to be had there, dude. Jesus fucking Christ. What, Rainbow Six Siege? Yes, I played Rainbow Six Siege. I own it. I think I got it on PS4. Yeah, I got it on PS4. I played like about like maybe a dozen matches of it. Fucking hate it. Fucking detest that game, dude. Because the only reason why I bought it because I wanted to see fucking. This was before my EA or my Ubisoft hatred came into play. I bought it on a whim because I wanted to see fucking like maybe I'll give the game a try. I played the beta for it. Fucking hated it then, but I wanted to see if it got better. No, the game fucking flat out sucks my fucking goddamn saggy balls, man. Well, not when they're cold, but you get the idea. Now, a game, I'll give you another example of this. This is where things can be a little bit weird, but check this out. SWAT 4. That game is based on realism. Everything about that game is fucking realistic. But the art style makes it actually worth fucking playing through. The art style fucking is not realistic wise. It doesn't look like anything like whatever you want to call it. Go look at screenshots for it. You'll see what I mean. Yeah, see, Brett, that's the thing. But here's the thing, though, right? Okay, I kind of talked about this in the last podcast to Spartan, because Spartan was like really the only one that was in my chat. Let me explain to you why. I don't have a rational hate towards multiplayer. Well, I kind of do and I kind of don't. I don't fuck with multiplayer all too often anymore because multiplayer games are too dumbed down for my liking. You gotta remember, I came from fucking the last big multiplayer game that I played before Gears, and Gears doesn't even touch this game at all, was Unreal Tournament. Quake before that. Quake 3 Arena to be exact. And Quake 3 Arena is the reason why that fucking where I found my new love for Twitch shooters. And then Unreal Tournament, I got into that. And then when Unreal Tournament 2004 came out and I bought that beast, man, I was obsessed with that game. Like virtually obsessed with that game. And now fucking I look at multiplayer as being something now along the lines competitively wise as shit. Now, that's not me factually stating that it's shit. I'm telling you from my opinion that multiplayer games today are fucking shit. And fucking, that's the thing. It's not that these games are bad. It's just that these games are fucking dumbed down that even a fucking dumbass motherfucker that's never played a shooter game before can easily pick up and play it. And at the end of the day, I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of competitive multiplayer games anymore, dude. Outside like Gears is the only one that I fuck with, man, because it's slow. Not slow like in the sense of Killzone slow, because Killzone was fucking beyond fucking slow and bad on top of that. But Gears is a game that I always have a lot of fun with. A lot of fun with, man. Like, okay, when Doom came out, the new one that came out a couple of years back in 2016 or 2015 it was, that was a game that when I played it, I actually had hope for the multiplayer because the multiplayer had a little bit of fucking of a Twitch shooter element to it, and that got me really excited. Lawbreakers. Not the fact that, it plays just like fucking Overwatch. Actually, it didn't play anything like Overwatch. But the fact that that game had more of a actual Twitch shooter vibe to it, That's the reason why that game fucking tanked. Like, that game almost had potential of fucking being my next Unreal tournament. But that game died so fucking fast, dude. So fast that I didn't even bother investing money into after I played the beta for it, man, because it was already dying on his death wish, man, before the game even came out. So, no. I don't necessarily hate it. There are some games that I will play just for the fun of it, for the fun factor of it, but I don't take it serious anymore. Fighting games, fucking, I grew out of that fucking phase back when after like when Street Fighter 4 came out and I saw exactly how terrible Street Fighter 4 was. That's when I stopped playing fighting games. That's where I stopped giving a shit about fighting games. I'm not a fan of competitive multiplayer games anymore, man, because they're too fucking dumbed down, man. Dumbed down for idiots, man. Not talking about you guys in the chat. I'm just speaking in general. Like, they're just dumbed down for idiots. Like, you go watch fucking a pro player play Unreal Tournament, and then you watch a pro player play Call of Duty, you'll see exactly what the fuck I mean. You'll see exactly what the fuck I mean. You put a Call of Duty fucking pro fucking MO fucking G player in front of a fucking pro that plays Unreal Tournament, that guy's gonna get spanked every time. Every fucking time. Yeah, that's why I don't really fucking care about multiplayer competitively anymore. That side of the spectrum is pretty much basically almost dead for me. Almost dead. Now, competitively wise, if you look at games like, say, Civilization or something like that, oh yeah, I'll fucking play that multiplayer. Of course, I'll play that multiplayer. And those games can get fucking competitive. Fucking competitive, bro. Oh yeah, my thoughts on the Lockhart. When that rumor first came into fruition about a year ago, I forget what site it was, that fucking whatever you want to call it. I know a lot of people are saying that fucking that it, like, I think somebody in the chat or said earlier, it might have been you there, Drain, that said that it might be a fucking a streaming device. I don't think that's exactly what it's going to be, even though that feature will be on it. But that feature is going to be on all fucking platforms outside from Sony. I think it's going to also be on the Switch. I think it's going to be on fucking the OG, the Xbox One S and the X, and it's also going to be on fucking the Scarlet. But is it going to be the only thing that's going to be on it? No. Both consoles are definitely going to still have digital and physical. Maybe the Lockhart might not have physical. It might be a discless fucking console again. Because, to keep the budget down lower for people like myself. And which would be good for me because I'm digital anyways. But no, Scarlet is going to be an actual console, just like the PS4, where you can buy physical and digital and so on and so forth. Except now you can actually fucking stream games on it if you want to, but you don't have to. Because remember, you can actually fucking turn your Xbox into an actual fucking stream hub for you. That was one of the things that I think a lot of people tend to fucking forget. But I digress. I know, I'm definitely not going to be a handheld. It's definitely not going to be a handheld. Because you can technically turn your phone into a handheld now with the Xbox if you truly wanted to. Microsoft's not going to invest money into that. They're not going to do that. They're definitely not going to do that. No, I think it's what the Lockhart's going to be. I think the Lockhart is going to be a budget version of the Scarlet. It's going to be kind of just slightly more powerful than what the actual X is right now currently. But it's going to actually fucking, yeah. Think of it, I think, especially now with the architecture being PC-like, I think the Lockhart is going to be equivalent to, like, if you're playing games at, like, low to medium range fucking settings. Whereas the Scarlet is going to be, like, if you want to play this game maxed out with, like, 4K uncompromised and whatever the case would be, that's the bundle you have to go with. If you want that kind of experience. If they do something like that, I'm fine with that. And think about it like this from this perspective there, Drain, right? Microsoft would definitely do something like that because, after all, they are into the PC market. You know what I mean? And their console, if you fuck around with the Xbox One, it technically fucking sometimes feels like I'm on a fucking PC. Like, it's ridiculous, dude. So I can see them doing that. I can see the Lockhart being a fucking cheaper console that's going to run these games at low to mid range like a PC. Whereas the Scarlet's going to be fucking high or fucking very high to ultra. I firmly believe that. I think it's what it might be. I think it's what it might be. No, I don't watch anything Digital Foundry. I think Digital Foundry is a goddamn fucking gimmick and a fucking curse to a lot of dumb shit. So I don't watch their fucking crap. Not anymore, it doesn't. No, the Xbox runs a modified version of Windows 10. Or a custom-made version of Windows 10. It's got a lot of Windows 10 features, not Windows 8. Just doesn't make sense, so we will have Xbox One X. Well, Xbox One X is part of this generation, though. They're not counting that as going into the next generation of hardware. Like, Lockhart and the Scarlet, that's going to be the next generation fucking batch. That's all it's going to be. The X is going to have nothing to do with this console generation going forward next gen. The X will still be relevant though, and I think that the X is going to replace the S model when the Scarlet comes out. I do believe that, and that's going to be half price off because by then that hardware is going to be irrelevant, so they're not going to have to worry about keeping the price up high. You know what I mean? I mean, also remember too as well. We do know that the Scarlet is definitely going to be hardware related as far as making games physical and digital. Because if it wasn't, they wouldn't even fucking have it as part of an upgrade plan for that fucking all access shit. So, no, if the Xbox One X had a different CPU in that shit, because the CPU is what's bottlenecking that GPU that's in there, man. Or it was the GPU. I might have another way around. I think it was GPU. I think it is, or something like that. There's something. So the CPU, the GPU that's bottlenecking the Xbox One X. Hey, well, goddamn. When I finish the stream, I'll get my ass to bed. And then when I wake up tomorrow, I'm definitely going to probably end up doing a morning fucking Civ fucking thing. Yeah, I think it was the CPU there, fucking Stardust. I think that was kind of holding back the GPU, I think. Then I'll wake up in the morning and I'll fucking play Civilization. I might stream that, but I don't think I'm going to. I mean, I don't know. We'll see how it is. And then throughout the day, I'll probably be on Minecraft, fucking chilling on my server. And shit like that, and playing that with Faye and Ian and shit like that for a couple hours. Gotta get shit done, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you guys know what I'm saying. Yep. So I'll finish the smoke and I'll end this off and I'm getting my ass to bed. Ryzen GPU, yeah, or CPU or something like that, yeah. Yeah, man. Definitely covered off see, this is why I love doing this show. Because I can actually talk with you guys, get your thoughts on shit, and fucking doesn't have to be agreements or disagreements. I really don't give a flip what they fuck. But at least like nobody's sitting here fucking calling people retards and shit. I mean, unless I'm going at it with Spartan God, but that's just all fucking jokes because that's what him and I do a lot of the times. But so, I mean, man, having civil conversations with fucking with gamers, man. You know what I mean? Yo, Stardust, you may have to fucking download that Civilization off my account, you prick. So that way you and I can play that shit, man. I mean, if you're willing to give the game a try. I'm not sure if you picked up anything, but like I said, I'm not going to download anything else on my PlayStation for a while, dude. Because I'm tired of having to cart that over to my neighbors all the time, and I want to get something downloaded. So, like, I know I have an update for Nomad Sky that I have to download that, but I mean, whatever, I don't care. Yo, later, Drain Your Soul. Thanks for coming out and fucking chilling, buddy. I appreciate it, homie. It's always a pleasure to see you in my chat, buddy. Yo, that's one game though. I can't wait, man. I'm definitely gonna fucking definitely gonna get that game for Faye, man. No Man's Sky. I want Faye to try that game out with me, man, because I think she would love that game in the current state that it's in. She will have a fucking blast playing that shit. Yes, I have heard of Astroneer. That game is actually not bad, but it's kind of confusing though. But it's not a bad game. See, Stardust, man, if you had that shit on Xbox, man, you could have joined my realm, dude. But I'm trying to keep that to people that I trust. You know what I mean? So, because I'm paying for that. They gave me a free month, so I just left the money on my account, so that way it'll just take the money out on payday when it has to renew. So I don't care about that. Yeah, you can play with Switch players. Yes, you can. If you got a Switch and you own Minecraft on the Switch, yes, you can join my server because that's how Ryan fucking Landys plays with me. But all right, guys, man, I'm out of here, dude. All right, I'll have to get like once you like let me know, send me a message there tomorrow, there, Stardust, dude, and I'll give you the server code, man, because it gives you like a little code that you have to type in. So yeah, and then fucking you'll have to add me on Xbox too. But anyways, guys, I'm out of here. I love y'all with death, man, and I'll see you guys here on the next one, man. I'm out this bitch. Later, guys.